It's time for another episode of UNCUT Long War 2. Forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but today's soldier is provided by Miles to Be. Luca and her parents emigrated to England when she was only 5 years old. You'd be forgiven for thinking such a transition would be hard on a young girl. The truth was that she loved it. The new country she called home was far better than Japan. There was so much space for her to run around, endless things for her to find, and places to explore. However, this idyllic life did not last forever. Luca prefers not to remember or relive life in an overcrowded city, but unfortunately has found herself once again living in those conditions. With nowhere to move in the new Advent-controlled world, Luca took up singing to distract her from an unsettling reality. She and those around her were surprised by her natural talent. Unfortunately, it wasn't just her neighbors and fellow citizens that took note of her beautiful voice. Advent and the alien regime recruited her to sing songs of praise about the elders in the city centers and outer districts. She never believed any of what she sang, but knew the consequences of rebellion were harsh. After several months of singing lies and Advent propaganda, she snapped. Surrounded by civilians, troopers, and I'm sure a few sectoids lurking in the shadows, she sang a song of resistance that many say was loud enough for the entire world to hear. Before she finished the song, Advent officers rushed to the stage to drag her down, but were stopped by the crowd. In the ensuing chaos, Luca ran out of the city and was eventually picked up by a resistance scouting party. She was later recruited by Xcom and now fights Advent with more than just her words. We're not going to see her on a mission today, but when we do, we're going to find out if she's as good with a gun as she is with holding a tune. Okay, for today's mission, we're doing Operation Sinking Summer. This is a classic Retaliation. So Advent is tired of us blowing up their stuff, and they're trying to put a stop to it. So we've got to get in there and defend our civilians. This is just like the base game's Retaliation strikes, but the twist is the civilians that die are actually members of our Resistance Haven, so we're going to want to get as many of them out as possible. So let's get into our squad composition. First up in our squad, we have Alfie Green Jelly O'Brien coming in with the medkit, ceramic plating, and frag grenade. She is a medic, so she's going to be able to heal us up if we take damage. Next up, Mark Barden, aka Curry. He's coming in with the smoke grenade, ceramic plating, and the pistol. He's spec'd out to be a hollow targeter, so if he can't get a good shot with his sniper rifle, he will be able to provide us with that tactical support, increasing our aim. Next up, Nas Hull is our rogue. He's going to have to get in very close with his Halo Reach SMG, so he's got ceramic plating and a nanofiber vest and a flashbang. Next up, after that, we got Kevin Carnuckle and Desmond the Black Dragon. So these guys are a match made in heaven. They're using the same loadout, armor-piercing rounds, ceramic plating, and frag grenades. Finally, we have the Surgeon Dos Santos, and he is coming in with 2 flashbangs and ceramic plating. He is a combat hacker, so he's going to be able to use that combat protocol on whatever drones or mechs that are mucking about, and we're going to zap them into submission. Now let's get out there and save some people. Alright, we are rappelling down this time. We are coming in hot. This is the first time we've had to rappel immediately out of the Sky Ranger and then start the mission. So we got to save some people in our Resistance Haven. The cool thing about doing Retaliation missions in Long War is that the civilians actually matter. It's more than just a roleplay thing when they die. So, you know, granted, it does feel bad when you lose a civilian in the base game. You don't actually need to save them for any other reason than it's the objective. But we just moved up Nas Hull, and we do have eyes on the first pod right off the bat, but saving civilians in Long War, you're actually saving people that are working in your Resistance Haven, so it's that much more important to get these guys saved and to you know, to rescue them. So there are only 7 of them. Our objective isn't to rescue a specific number, it's to rescue as many as we can, because it's going to be impossible to rescue all of them. But this is going to be really rough because, well, first of all, that pod is going to activate as soon as we make a blue move with anyone. That's first of all. And it's really annoying. And if it sounds like I'm annoyed, it's because I am. Because I kind of hate the way that happens. Like, look at this. Boom. Hello, guys. So, I mean, I don't like retaliation missions without all pods active, because granted, all pods active does make it more difficult. The fact that you almost always reveal a pod on your first action in retaliation missions, it's just frustrating. It just frustrates me a little bit. But we're already in a bit of a tight spot, because there is, as you can see in the distance, an Advent Rocketeer, and you can't see it from up here, but he has a rocket launcher gauntlet. So the Rocketeer is, again, the answer to, it is the alien's answer to the technical class, and getting our soldiers hit with a rocket is not, we don't want it to happen. So we're going to have to deal with that Rocketeer as quickly or as swiftly as possible. And for some reason, this rock over here is obstructing our boy's view, but this one isn't. Now, you know, if you haven't noticed already, we got Kevin Carnuckle in here, Master James, that's your guy. And we also have, where is he? Desmond Black Dragon Silton by Azkamoski? Azkamoski, I got the paper. Azkamoski, yeah. Black Dragon Silton is on the field as well. He's ready to do some serious damage to the Advent. So let's just get everybody into some covered positions. We've also got the Surgeon, Mr. Dos Santos, back in action, ready to do some work as well. So this is gonna be a rough one, man. These missions are always difficult, and there's no two ways about it. There's not really much we can do about it except try and get through it. So let's get everybody in the position. I'm pretty sure if we suppress the area and thereby suppress the if we specifically target the suppression on the Rocketeer, I want to say he's not going to be able to rocket us if we suppress him. So let's give that a try. I really hope that's the case, because if he rockets us, I may just uninstall this game. So let's find out what happens. Let's see what's going on here. And Overwatch isn't even going to help that much, but because we don't really have good angles on anybody from here. But we'll do it. Yeah, what the hell? Why not? Let's see what happens, folks. We're off to an interesting start. Let's find out how it goes. Come on, aliens, make your move. There we go. So the civilian is going to get gunned down right away. Our resistance just got one sliver smaller. Nat Cunningham, we didn't know you very well, but you did. So that's very unfortunate for him. Now let's see what this Rocketeer does. He's going to try and move. We are going to take our reaction fire, and that is going to finish him off. So we're not going to get hit with a rocket. I don't know if the area suppression is going to continue now that it is going to continue now that he's dead. So if the officer decided to move, he would have gotten a reaction fire as well. So that's pretty interesting. So far, so good. We eliminated the primary threat, or one of many primary threats that are on the map, no doubt. But either way, we're doing all right for ourselves. Since Nazhul is invisible to the naked eye at the moment, we are going to try and use him as a bit of a scout. He does take increased damage because of one of his kits, or because of the one of his perks, I should say. Should use the proper terminology. So we're going to want to make sure that he doesn't get revealed unintentionally. So we'll start off with a rather safe move by moving him into a covered position where I assumed that there were no aliens. And from here, we just got to eliminate these enemies that are dug in pretty damn well. You know, but Long War is a really interesting mod. And the most interesting part about it is the difficulty of it, and the way they've decided to handle the difficulty of the mod is truly interesting. And one of the most questionable decisions that they've made is with dark events. Now, normally dark events in the base game are just a thing that happen, and sometimes you stop them, sometimes you don't, and they'll be really annoying for a month, and then they go away. So we're going to take a sniper shot. We did hollow target this guy. Going to give us an extra chance to hit, but it's not going to be enough. We flipped a coin there. It was about 49% chance. It was not great, but it was all that we really had. And then we have a pretty low chance as well with the Surgeon. But we are going to connect and deal 1 damage to him. So that was very far out of the maximum range of his new weapon, which is the SMG. We got the Halo Reach SMG. So we got to try and get him in there a little bit closer. We're going to go ahead for the suppression play again to reduce his accuracy. So if he does decide to shoot at us, it's not going to be very effective. And Alfie O'Brien, she's going to have to get in there because nobody really has good angles on these guys. So she's going to have to be our aggressor, even though she is our medic. Sometimes the medic got to get her hands dirty. Andy, I'm going to keep your girl safe. That's Andy with a Y, right? That's Andy with a Y, right? Yep, that's Andy with a Y. There's 2 Andys. Andy with a Y and Andy with an I. Anyway, we're going to take another shot. And then we're going to see what happens. So, oh, shit, I didn't even need to suppress him. All right, well, I'll take it. Here we go. So, the dark events are now permanent. So... And with the way they get, he is having no parts of this. They killed my commander. Black Hawk down. Black Hawk down. And with the way the missions are structured in Long War, you can't even cancel all of them. You can't reveal the hidden one. You can reveal the hidden ones, but there's no possible way to stop every single dark event that is in Long War 2, and that is a bit annoying. But it's a decision that leads to interesting gameplay in the sense that normally XCOM has this difficulty curve where the farther in you get, the better your soldiers get equipped and the easier things become. Like, you still run into these situations where, you know, a sectopod will come out and knock down all the cover and you'll be a little bit screwed in that regard. But for the most part, by the time you're facing the really big enemies, you've already gotten to a point where your soldiers are so strong that you can effectively deal with most situations that get thrown at you. And that's cool. And Advent does not have any ways to deal with that. But with Long War, with the permanent dark events, one of the most annoying ones that's currently active is, I believe it's called alien conditioning or something, but whatever it's called, it is increasing the aliens' hit points by 1. So, I mean, we can see the Advent trooper that's running for the hills, he has 5 health instead of 4. So even as we get new technology and new weapons and what have you, the Advent are still going to be durable and survivable as we continue to grow our squad. So that's an interesting mechanic. But sometimes, you know, sometimes that's a little bit obnoxious, right? Because of, you know, some of the perks that they get, it's like, okay, you guys are joking about that one, right? That one's not going to last forever, but it does last forever. And then it sort of spirals out of control. I mean, I've read on Reddit that some dudes have 50-something dark events active at the same time, and that doesn't seem right. But, you know, we'll see as the game goes on, and we're going to continue suppressing these guys. He is trying to get away, but he is not going to make it. We're going to do exactly 5 damage. And Kevin Carnuckle, let me tell you something about the fanboy, all right? He's got this ability called Center Mass. Kevin Carnuckle is spec'd for pure damage, all right? He's going to be a high damage dealing gunner. So, you know, he's a badass. And it looks like we've got our eyes on another pod. Nazhol doing a great job of scouting for us. And this, you know, although sectoids are not very powerful in the weapons department, mind control has... mind control is cancer. I don't care. I'll say it. Mind control is cancer, and I cannot stand it. It drives me up the wall. I feel like they do it all the time. That's like their go-to move. You know, it's if the sectoid was a character in an MMO or a class in an MMO, it would be spamming mind control, and it would be freaking annoying, and it would get nerfed. But because this is XCOM, it's not going to change. So we're going to try our best to get into a position where we can eliminate those sectoids first before activating whatever pod that is with the mech in it. So we're going to bring everybody back onto the hill. We're playing this as tactically as possible and as intelligently as possible, because any wrong moves that we make are going to be vital and are going to be truly, truly painful for us and the Resistance. There's only 5 members remaining, so we got to keep hustling. It's a bit of a soft timer for you right there. And we're gonna leave Mark Barton alone. We're just gonna hunker him down. And Nazhul, I suppose we will advance him just a tad, so on the next turn he'll be able to get even closer to the enemies. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting watching the difficulty change and manipulate itself. And these guys are ready for action. The pod is going to activate. Here we go, the Sidewinder. This is a variant on the Viper. But I don't think they realize that Nazhul is here. Ooh, so far so good. I like the way this is unfolding. So yeah, they do not know that Nazhul is here, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. I think I may have made a mistake switching Surgeon to the Halo Reach SMG because it is kind of difficult for him to get into range to use it, but I'm not ready to sign off on it just yet. I think it has potential to be a very valuable asset for him. So here we go. Let's get back into this. Let's get tactical for today. So we've got 2 units clumped up behind this tree, right? And as we've all seen, the Long War grenades are very weak. But Desmond is spec'd to be a sort of support-oriented gunner. And he has the ability to destroy cover with the demolition ability. Let's find out if it is strong enough to blow up the almighty oak. It is. Oh boy, it's about to get real. Okay, I'm excited now. This is going way better than I was expecting it to. I didn't think I was going to be able to completely obliterate a tree with a few shots from a gun, but I can. So Nazhul, it's time to reveal yourself. Shoot that sectoid in the chest. That's going to deal a nice 5 damage critical hit. Not as much as I would have liked, but it's definitely enough to soften it up pretty damn well. So let's take a look at what the rest of our guys can do. We're going to have to... Yeah, this is phenomenal. This is truly fantastic. Our hit percentages are not, but all in all, I think it's going to be okay because we're going to throw a grenade. Whew, I am sweating bullets right now. Because there's a very good chance that this just all blows up in my face, and as excited as I am that this is just going to go completely downhill, because that's just how Xcom works. But for right now, for the moment, Mark Barton taking the shot right at the meaty portion of the Sidewinder, going to take it out before we even get to see his abilities. Now let's take a look at Dos Santos, just because I want to see what his hit percentages look like with the Halo Reach SMG from this range. Yeah, we are starting to lose out on a bit of the accuracy because of the range that he's trying to engage from. But I think this is going to have potential. I think it's going to have potential. Anyway, let's finish what we started. Get out of here, sectoid. Right in the head. There's a lot of loot over there. We're going to have to pick that up pretty soon. Why don't you go hang out with our ninja? There you go. You know, guys, I'm happy right now. I was feeling a little bad earlier today because now I'm a little bit ashamed to admit this, but I had a donut. I ate a donut. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what? I eat donuts all the time. Well, if you do, that's not a good idea, because donuts, they're not good for you. You know, there's no reason to ever have a donut. I got to tell you right now. And who was that just died? Civilian. Wait, did they not die? Did that miss? It did? Wow. Okay. Somebody's got some nice moves. So yeah, I had a donut today, and I actually had the donut right before recording. So, needless to say, my confidence was low. I felt like I gave in to something that I didn't really need to give into. I felt like, I felt like I was just sacrificing. And for what? What was I making a sacrifice for? For a little bit of powdered sugar? For a dopamine rush? Why did I need that donut? The answer is I didn't. I didn't need the donut, but I took it. And you know what? I'm not proud of what I did. But I'm starting to feel better, though, because we're kicking some ass against these aliens. So let's keep moving forward. We're going to move Dos Santos in. You know, his story is that he's very skilled and very adept at close quarters combat. So that is the main reason I want to try him out with the submachine gun. But from a tactical standpoint, he was wildly more effective with a Halo Reach DMR. Those things are very powerful tools. They can really allow your soldiers to fill the assault rifle role more effectively from longer ranges, which is always valuable. But you know, we'll see how it plays out. Speaking of seeing how it plays out, we've got our first pudding man. He looks very tasty. What flavor of pudding is that? Peach? It's a little bit pink, or maybe strawberry. And there we go. Oh, is it going to smack the civilian? No, it's not going to smack the civilian right away, but we are going to trigger another pod. We have another Sidewinder, 2 sectoids, and I think that was just it. Yeah, 2 Sidewinders and a sectoid. I mean, 1 Sidewinder and 2 sectoids. Oh gosh, it's going for our boy. You better duck. You better duck. He ducked, thank goodness, but he is exposed now. Now, okay. The truth be told, I feel like that tree is still there. It's hard to tell, but I feel like that tree is still there. So I'm a little bit peeved at what just happened. But on the bright side, we're gonna be able to move over, do a quick sidestep, and I'm not gonna get him completely out of the fray, but I do believe we're gonna be able to kill this thing in one turn. So I'm not too worried about it. Show us what you got. 1 damage. That is not nearly enough. Alright, we're just gonna have to lay some bullets into this thing. There we go. Alright, so we are gonna take out the Faceless in one swoop, as I was planning on doing. We're gonna use a free reload on Mr. Nas Hull. He's back online, and then we are going to chuck out a flashbang. I want to say it's hitting both of them if we get it here. The main target is the sectoid, because of course the sectoids, they cannot mind control if they are disoriented. So even if it doesn't hit the Sidewinder, I won't be too upset about that. It did hit it anyway, so no harm, no foul. And then we're gonna use a little bit of area. Nope, can't squeeze them both into the area suppression, so we're going to go ahead and use a standard suppression on the sectoid to finish off this turn. Turn's not finished yet. We're just going to overwatch. I don't really have a good shot percentage yet, so there we go. So far, so good, though, people. We're saving resistance contacts. We're killing aliens, and I like the way this is going. I mean, I think, oh, come on. Don't kill Sergio Perez. That's ridiculous. He had disorientation and a minus 30% chance to hit from the suppression, yet he still managed to kill Sergio Perez. I bet you Sergio had a donut before Advent got here, which was drastically hindering his capabilities. That's my best guess. So, that's really unfortunate because we've only got 3 civilians remaining. Shit, I forgot about the Overwatch, but thankfully our boy knows what he's doing, because I clearly do not. But it's the donut. It's the donut. At this point, though, we've just got... Why is it doing 1 damage every time? What's going on here? At this point, though, we've pretty much got cleanup duty to do. We don't have too many Advent remaining, and our guys are all healthy. Nobody's actually taken damage yet, so we're doing very well in that department. But the fear is still that anything could happen at any moment. You know, it's just... congratulations. I've made it, I think, 7 episodes without making an analogy about dating. But, you know, on a date, things could be going well. You know, you could be happy, you could be having fun, and you just say one wrong thing, and it all goes to hell. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. But, you know, so far, so good. I mean, yeah, so far, so good. I think the fanboy, Mr. Carnuckle, is a little bit too close to Mark Barton right now. I think he's a little bit overzealous, and they're rubbing parts together, but that's okay. They're gonna become good friends by the end of this. That shot is unfortunately going to miss. But yeah, there's a little bit of crotch in mouth action going on, or crotch in face action going on. So yeah, I think Mark Barton is going to have a little talk with Carnuckle when this is all over. It's like, look, man, I understand that you need to get into position when you're firing your Gatling gun, but you need to stop putting your nuts in my face. Okay, it's not good. And here we go. The first mind spin is going to go out. Thankfully, it is not going to mind control us. It's just going to disorient, and we are in full cover, so our boy is completely protected. And, you know, that the full cover plus suppression, you're basically invulnerable. A resurrection is going to come out, so we got a zombie behind us. But that is not a problem because our squad is awesome, except when they miss their shots. But either way, we are going to succeed in this mission. We're not going to save nearly as many civilians as we could have. We're going to have to try a little bit harder to get in there and hustle to those civilians so we can get them back safely. Because as I said before, they are actually members of our Resistance Haven, gathering intel and supplies and recruiting new members. And man, that guy is not going to feel good in the morning because he's dead. So the name of the game is XCOM 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.